delighted to launch this great event, iChallenge. I'm in my third year, and every year it's gotten stronger and stronger. And I just want to say a couple of words about what's most important for a competition like iChallenge. It's all about idea generation and concept, and then how you pitch it and show value to the stakeholders that you want success from. So the key here is bringing together people from diverse backgrounds with diverse skill sets. How many are business majors? Raise your hand. Okay, so is that everybody? Anybody not a business major? So here's your challenge. Go find some students from other schools, humanities, sciences, BSS, and build a nice little team to generate better ideas. Because it really, really is the best kind of business idea comes from people from different backgrounds with different skill sets and different interests. And ultimately, if we can get more talent from different areas, I'm going to bet that the winner comes out of a mixed group. So I'm just going to predict that. But that being said, I'm delighted to, as I said, launch this event. We've got a number of marketing faculty, comm faculty, entrepreneurship faculty, our outreach coordinator, our legal team over here, and Tony. And I just want to wish you well. I'm going to stay for the rest of the event tonight, but I'm a resource for you too. So I've always had the iChallenge winners come and see me. We give them a prize. And last year's came out of the School of Humanities. The year before came out of the School of Natural Sciences. So, come on business students. As much as I want you to form a team with some other students, I want to see a business student take this one as well. So I wish you luck, and if I can be of help in any way, let me know. Thanks. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get that video to work, but the idea of that video is to show you sort of the structure of what the competition will be. But before we get to that, I just wanted to talk to you guys very quickly. So you don't know me, I see a lot of familiar faces, which I'm happy to be seeing that. But I'm the president of the Entrepreneurship Club. And this year we are really working hard to drive this club and really get it to the next level, right? Thanks for the support of the dean and the key professors that are helping us. We're really driving value to this club. So we're bringing on you events and challenges that are going to help you extend to a better career and bigger breadth when you hit the workforce. So what I ask of all of you is that realize the type of value that we're bringing and invite your friends and invite your colleagues to start coming to these type of events. Because as the dean has said, it really comes to when you're building teams, right? So when you have friends that you know you can work well together with, the idea is to build those teams, bring them together, and really drive this club to the next place. So again, I encourage you all to bring your friends, bring your colleagues, people who you think are going to be interested, because this year we're working very hard to bring value to all of you to different events. So any questions or any concerns, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help with anything. And I look forward to getting in touch with all of you soon. So thanks.
So, ideas for innovation, impact, improvement, and yes, it is about integrating it into what you're doing, sense of excitement. I've had the opportunity, thanks to Dean Schreiber, who's been magnificent in her support, because this is not just a business school initiative, this is a university-wide initiative, because entrepreneurship, we're very lucky, happens to be in the School of Business, but only because we captured it when we, I guess, had an opportunity, but it belongs to the entire university. And what the dean said is, unless you partner with individuals that may have the content, you may also have some content, but you have the delivery, you're not going to have the winning combination. So part of the dean, the dean's dream is that we have interdisciplinary teams, and it's very important that we echo that. Dr. Altunyan has been unbelievable in driving this to the next level of academic rigor. And we are extremely fortunate, Dr. Deborah Zahi-Blotz, who's the chair of marketing and entrepreneurship, could not be with us today. But Dr. Paulett and Dr. James are here, so thank them possibly. And Roger, we can't do without you. Thank you for your support. I was asked to talk a little bit about the iChallenge history. Why did it start and how has it gotten to where it is? We thought that the iChallenge was a perfect fall introduction to the spring business plan competition. This year, the iChallenge Ideas for Innovation pitch is happening on Tuesday, November 8th. It is now not just a nice preview of what can happen in the business plan competition portion of the iChallenge. It is now required that you register for and participate in the iChallenge in order to compete in the business plan competition. Why? Because we have found that in the past, and this is going to be like the 6th year that we do the iChallenge, that the academic rigor is missing if you don't have the mentoring and coaching and the team building that is required to get you to that next level of academic rigor. So the idea this year is that the iChallenge would afford you an opportunity never before had, which is to get hooked up with a coach or a mentor from either the faculty or the local entrepreneurs community to assist you. That's all it is. It's an assist. It's not going to be an immersive experience, but it's a way of then getting you ready to figure out and how to get into the business plan competition frame of mind. Dr. Otunia is going to talk a little bit more about the specifics of that. In the past, the iChallenge has pretty much taken place in the Maybe Ballroom, although we've had one that's at the Fleck. And it was a little bit more of a free-for-all in terms of come as you are, everybody come and register, maybe deadline a few days before. We found out that that's a little bit too hang loose. We got to tighten some of the bolts, and we got to be sure, thanks to this kickoff, that you get the message that there is some structure to this, and in order to have a successful pitch, you will need some introduction or reintroduction to some of the pitching modules that perhaps you may have been exposed to in other classes. The iChallenge is meant to allow you to pitch your idea in front of an audience, in front of judges, and get constructive feedback. Very important. You need to pitch a venture as often as you can, because every time that you pitch the venture, you get some new insights. So bottom line, the history of this particular pitch contest is it started simply as a way to get the buzz on campus about the business plan competition. We usually average between 15 to 25 registrants. This year we're hoping for lights out a lot more. And as the dean said, it is sort of an embarrassment that the last 2 years the iChallenge winner has not been a business major. Wow, maybe we can do something about that. So thank you for being here. We encourage you to register, bring out friends, colleagues, and others to join you in this. Very important. So thank you very much, and I'll hand it back to Dr. Altuve.
So if we ever can get this on video, you'll find out the way this is going to work. But I'll give you an overview. So first of all, the iChallenge, the Ideas for Innovation is the first part. It's very easy. You do a form online. It's got to be in by the 21st of October. And then you are going to pitch on November 8th your idea. So the first week of November, we will have a pitch run-through and a pitch coaching session to help you learn how to pitch. 4 things you have to have in your presentation, and you'll see that this is in your application. You have to have a problem you're trying to solve. You have to have a solution for that problem. You have to have the market that you're going after and any information about that market that you can find. And then 4th and last, your plan of how you would do this. So for example, the example I always use with my students in class, if you were going to go decide you wanted to create a restaurant on South Congress for students, you would have to say, what's the problem? Just saying, I'm going to do a restaurant doesn't mean anything. But let's say you're missing something really cool, like a Greek restaurant. You see that there's a gap. So the problem is, there's no good Greek food around campus. That would be a problem. The solution is, we're going to open a trailer on South Congress to serve students. That would be the solution, focused on Greek food. The market would be, our target is St. Edward students and people within a mile radius about this range, and we think that big of a population. And the last part is, and what we're going to do is we are going to actually have to get a trailer, get some recipes, and we're going to pull together the resources to actually open this up. You don't have to go through all that, any more detail than that to start with. What will happen is, and that may sound very simple, but when you have an idea for a restaurant, you have an idea for a new mobile application, you have an idea for a new type of a service, a new nonprofit, when you put them all together, they're really interesting to look at. So the bar to get your idea in is not that high. What's going to happen though is on November 8th, those ideas will be judged. And the top teams will then, the top ideas will be entered in the business plan competition. For the ideas for innovation, you can either put in an idea as an individual or as a team. And on the form, it asks you if there's other people. If you get accepted to the business plan competition, you will absolutely want to do it in a team. And so you will form a team to go do that. And the business plan competition is where we will assign mentors. We will actually have a full business pitch competition where we will follow traditional business planning. So how many people have heard of Lean Startup? Anybody? So you know what Lean Startup is? So the way to think about this is the ideas for innovation is the Lean Startup approach. You're going to identify a problem and a solution, and you're going to go talk to people and make sure there's really a problem there. And you're going to pitch your solution. The business challenge presentation part is really traditional business planning. This is taking the place of a business plan document. It's a business plan pitch. And we will have coaching sessions during the spring semester to get teams ready. We will also have mentors assigned from the business community, as Mr. Alvarado said, to help you. The cool thing is that the final presentation for the business plan competition is actually at the Google Fiber Center downtown. We have it reserved already. We're going to bring people in from around town, other business people, hopefully some press. This is a great thing to get on your resume. So from the first part, we're going to have just the ideas. Get your ideas in. Don't worry about your decks. Get your decks together the best you can. We're going to, maybe now that we have you here, we'll have you come and help us with the first week of November, when you actually get to run the pitch among the group and get feedback before you have to go pitch in the competition. And then from the competition point on, we'll pick the top teams, 8 to 10 most likely, and the best ideas. And even people that were in other ideas that didn't get picked can join a team if the person with the idea wants them to join the team. And they can spend the rest of the semester. There are prizes at both sides. There's a prizes for the ideas, and the bigger prize is going to be for the business plan competition. So that's the way it's set up. Really, if you're interested in this, you got to keep your eye on getting through the ideas for innovation piece. But we're really excited about this. Our goal is to have a really good turnout, as Professor Alvarado said, greater than 20 ideas being pitched at the first half. And fingers crossed, we would love to have it in the new auditorium, that competition, with the big cameras, so we can get some of the other entrepreneurial centers to watch the pitches. It'll depend on how well it goes the first week of November. We want to really have good ideas. The idea behind this is to make sure that we can help students go through the experience. So a little bit about the background of this. There's a lot of pitch competitions going on now around the country, actually. This is a way to get experience in how to pitch here in a safe environment so that you can take your idea to other pitch competitions or go work with other startups to do new ones on your own. But we're going to make this as close to a real pitch that you would see at Capital Factory or at one of the big global pitch competitions as it can be. So we really want to make sure that the teams that get into that, this is why there's a big difference how we've done it this year. We want to make sure that the ideas that get into that competition are really well vetted, because no one wants to put work into building a business plan for an idea that people don't think has merit. And so it's a great way to vet. We also didn't come up with this ourselves. This is, there's a lot of competitions that follow this path of having an idea piece first and then having a full plan competition. And it just works out really well that we kind of had a setting for that. We've just now modified it to work like the other ones. Did they get that working?
They said that they've had issues in this room, so
It's probably
it's bigger than us, but
Email?
yes, I'll send you guys an email with more information, and I'll include the video. And also, if you're not following the School of Business on social media, I encourage you to follow us because we'll be pushing it out that way.
So let me ask you a question. How many people have no idea what an idea really is or how to find an idea? Anybody? You guys all have ideas already? Yeah. How many people? You have an idea?
Well, I was just wondering if you had anything to say on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So there's two ways. There's two different types of ways to take ideas to market. One is you find a gap. You find a hole in the marketplace. So the example would be, we've decided we want to put a restaurant on South Congress, and you go find what types of food aren't there, and you say, I'm going to make a product to fill that gap, or I'm going to make a company to fill that gap. That's called gap. That's called identifying gaps in the marketplace. The second type of an idea is called creation. Creation is when there isn't a gap. It's something you've created from brand new, and you're finding a market for it. You see this a lot with artists, where artists have art. There's not really a gap in the marketplace, but maybe they've created a new type of art. That's creation. Or you've created a new type of a service that people don't even know they need yet. It doesn't really fill a gap. It solves a problem that people haven't even identified as a full problem. For example, Uber was an example of creation. There really wasn't people going around saying, God, I wish there was ride sharing. There was this opportunity to actually create an application that could marry people that had cars and people that needed rides. That was creation. Gap filling are the application guys that realized that the taxi drivers didn't have a solution, and they created taxi magic. There's an application because now they can't compete against these other guys. There's a gap in the market. Nobody's providing a piece of software. So they've created that. So the two ways you can look for ideas is either you look for something unique, you come up with something that no one's ever done before, which is actually really, really hard to do. Or you survey a marketplace and say, here's an opportunity for something. Have you ever had this experience where you walk around and go, I don't know why they don't have this here? Or wouldn't it be great if they had this because they need this? That's gap filling. So that's a really easy way to do that. The second thing is that there is a scale. You have two types of innovation. You have what's called sustaining innovation and disruptive innovation. Sustaining innovation is you do something better than the people that were already there. You may do another Mexican trailer up there, a Mexican food trailer, but you're going to do it better than everybody else. Maybe you have cheaper prices or you have better type of food. That's sustaining. It's not anything brand new. Disruptive innovation is you create something totally brand new that totally takes everybody else away from there. Let's say you come up with a new type of food trailer that totally chases everybody out of the restaurants to go there. If you created a completely, I'm trying to think, Hop Dottie trailer right here on, that would be more disruptive because people would go there. And if you actually think about it, food trailers have become very disruptive to restaurants. And so disruption is when you're putting something in and it disrupts the ecosystem that normally exists. Sustaining is when you put something in and it's an improvement over what's already there. So when you're thinking about these ideas too, you can think about it that way. If I'm going to do an app, the app either has to be better than what's already there, or it has to be something that's totally disruptive to what they're already doing. I cannot tell you how many pitches I see at Capital Factory for food delivery services. Do you know how many food delivery services there are? There's tons of food delivery services. If it isn't innovating above what's already there, or it's not doing it in a totally different way, it isn't really. So, if you actually were able to create a drone food delivery service, that would be disruptive, right? So that's a way to think about it. When you're thinking about your ideas, think about those four pieces. Am I filling a gap, or am I creating something new? And is it a sustaining innovation, which is a fine thing to do. Actually, sometimes sustaining innovations are way easier because you already have a market and customers. Sometimes it's a lot harder when you're creating something from scratch because you have to convince people that they need to buy it. So if you think about your ideas, that may help you structure a little bit more.
One of the other things is, this is not just meant for profit. You can also have nonprofits. There's over 6,000 registered nonprofits in the Central Texas area. And I can tell you, innovation for them is new ways to fundraise. You know, how do they crowdsource for a nonprofit, for example? Or just process could be innovative. How you put together the goodwill model of how they brought disparate type of industries under one umbrella. So don't just think in terms of the for-profit, although that's really front and center, but think also in terms of the nonprofit, or what we call the social entrepreneurship, social enterprise, and there can be some public-private partnerships. So that's part of the hallmark of the Holy Cross mission at St. Edward's. This is not just about competing in the world, but it's finding that gap, that niche that nobody else seems to be serving as effectively, which is how to help these nonprofits get to that next level. So that's also an idea, that might be in the offing.
Yeah, I think the nonprofit's important. Also, the arts. People that want to do an art gallery or want to start an art business or a photography business. But again, if you're going to start a photography business, it's either got to be something different and better than what's already there, or a totally new way to do it that people aren't used to. Maybe you're going to be a totally digital photography firm and you've got a new model that you're going to deliver. That's a great idea. It doesn't matter that people are doing it. If you're actually innovating on what's there with some new sustaining breakthroughs, or you've created a new way to deliver it, that works. Okay. That help?
Yes.
Any questions I can answer for you guys? This should be really fun. And actually, if you don't have an idea, go talk to artists or people around campus. Maybe you can come up with something and submit it.
In past years, what has the prize been for the business competition?
An iPad?
For the iChallenge.
For the iChallenge, for the iChallenge. For the business plan competition, I believe first place was
It's been cash.
2,500?
Like seed money?
Yes, it's money.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And actually, we're going to work on the sponsors too to see if we can actually make this richer this year. So, we want to get this to be
Competitive with anything else out there.
Yeah.
and we want this to be something you want to put on your resume.
Yeah.
And be proud of, and we'll video it, stuff that you can use. I promise you, we will not have you stand up and do an idea pitch totally without help, where you're going to be embarrassed. And we're not going to have any teams going up and doing business plan competitions that don't feel prepared. That's not good for us, and that's not good for you. At the end of it, we want you to be as proud of what you completed as we are. So this is not a gotcha. This is how do we help you actually compete by building good presentations and good stories.
So in November it's just St. Edward's, so in March is it more than St. Edward's?
Yeah.
Or it's all-
Oh, you mean other schools?
Yeah.
No, it's just St. Edward's, but those teams
Yeah.
are much more common space.
Gotcha.
So we actually want to open that up to the community, and you can bring family in. We want to make that event,
Can you send it to
which
me?
is why we make it.
Because
We want to get downtown in the middle of the startup hub,
That would be great.
where you can have people come in, we will be invited to really showcase the students. Again, why we don't want to be embarrassed for you or for us. We want you to be actually proud of
one of
what
my
you presented.
students
So
does
that's
science,
it.
but nobody would understand.
Any other questions? All right, well, tell your friends too. We'd like to have, I know we have a pretty big SEC group now.
It's growing. Continue to grow. We'll be sending out the registration information for the iChallenge on a follow-up email so that you guys can register and start getting your ideas going.
About 4 weeks away.
Yeah, so just a quick overview of dates if you want to hit on that. So the application is due October 21st.
And how much do you have to have for that?
It's
It's
a
very
short
simple.
form. I think it took about 5 minutes to fill out. You know what you say your problem is, what your solution is, or what your proposed solution is, who's on the team. Can you think of anything else?
I mean, what school you
you're
come,
from.
yeah,
a
it's very
short-
basic.
It's literally less than 5 minutes.
Roger, it's almost name, rank, serial number.
Well, except we do want a problem and solution so that we can actually help them if it's something that doesn't make sense.
So that would be due October 21st, and then the Ideas for Innovation competition is November 8th. And then the business plan competition is March 25th.
So the practice session, November 1st,
Yeah, it'll be the week of the 1st.
is going to be somewheres like here.
Yeah.
And the 8th is also going to be somewheres
Somewhere on
like
campus.
here. And the Google Fiber Center is going to be business plan March 25th.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And like I said, what we're also trying to do is, I talked to Dave Walter, we're trying to get the new auditorium for the ideas for
The
innovation. Jones?
Jones is supposed to be ready in time for Mariachi a la
That's what I
de
heard.
Oro on
Yeah.
October 17th.
Yeah, so he
So-
said he would reserve it for us, but we have to make sure the date's in there. Because I'd also like to get other centers to be able to watch that.
Yeah.
So those are the days. Oh, last thing, we actually have a canvas. Once you get your application turned in, we will put your emails in Canvas, you will get an invite. So materials will be up there, so you'll even be able to communicate with mentors or with the faculty members through that, but it's just for the competition. So you'll have another way to get information, to get calendars, so you don't have to remember all the dates. We'll have it all calendared there, to be able to submit and get feedback. Even you'll be able to video test your pitches and get feedback from people. So that's already set up, it's just waiting for the applications to put the addresses in. So that's the other way we're going to manage it. So through the whole time, you'll be able to, and as you know, if you play with Canvas, we'll be able to do groups for each team. So teams will be able to communicate inside themselves, between themselves, and with other teams.
I just want to echo, we've never had the kind of resources available this year. We've never had so many faculty supporting this. Take advantage of this. I'm telling you, I mean, this is unbelievable. The second thing is, this is about starting a business before you leave St. Edward's University, not just one, but several. And what a great way for the university to get behind you, to give you the support, because when you present, whether the iChallenge or business plan competition, those are our investor entrepreneur judges. You'd be surprised, Dr. Altunian, who he can network you with if you need something. And that is the other focal point. And Alan has not only drunk the Kool-Aid, he's making the Kool-Aid. You can figure out how to monetize your particular venture. And this is about helping you sustain yourself in a venture that may allow you maybe to scale it up, and who knows. We're very proud of the St. Edward's community. So it's about fun, it's about belonging, it's about value, and it's buzz in the air. It doesn't come around when the planet, the stars, and the moons align. They're aligning right now, so pass the word around. This is good. Thank you, David. It was great.
Thank you all. Well, there's food in the back. And
Please eat.
we're gonna
Yeah.
answer anything you need.
Thank you all.